What if I told you that you are doing NoFap wrong? I've made a lot of NoFap videos on this channel, and on pretty much every NoFap video that I've made, I've received at least one comment from somebody saying that they did NoFap for an extended period of time and saw no benefits from it whatsoever. And it's pretty fascinating how so many other people, myself included, can experience all of these benefits from NoFap, but then there's this other subset of people, maybe yourself included, that can go on long streaks and not experience any of these benefits. How is that possible? The reason why that's possible is because you are not doing NoFap correctly. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in order to illustrate this point, I want to have you do this mental exercise. I want you to close your eyes right now. Okay, actually close your eyes. I don't care if you're in public or whatever, just close your eyes. And I want you to visualize your desired NoFap benefits. Visualize your desired NoFap benefits. So maybe for you, it might be women attraction. Maybe you want to have women stare at you as you walk down the street. Or maybe it might be success. Maybe you want to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, or get your first client in your SMMA, or have your first product sale with your dropshipping business. Whatever that dream outcome is on the other side of the NoFap practice, visualize not just the actual event, but the feeling behind that event. How do you feel now that you have accomplished that thing? That right there is the driving force of your NoFap journey. And if you're having trouble visualizing something, if you don't have a desired outcome, that is why you're struggling with NoFap. Or if you're not struggling with NoFap, that is why you are able to go on long streaks and not experience any benefits. I want you to think of NoFap as somewhat of an accelerant. NoFap is like protein powder, meaning that it is a supplement, not a substitute. You can't just start taking protein powder and expect to build muscle. You still have to go to the gym. All protein powder does is make you gain muscle faster because you're gaining more protein, and protein helps you build muscle. In the same way, NoFap is not going to fix your life in and of itself. NoFap is simply an accelerant for the other things that you are going to do. It's going to allow you to put in the work, the focused work that you need to put in order to achieve the desired outcome that I just had you visualize. Now, this is only true if you stick with the practice. You have to stick with the practice long enough in order to see the results. Now, I could sit here and give you some ambiguous timeline of how long you'll need to wait to see your desires into fruition, but ultimately it's going to depend on you. It's going to depend on your willingness. Notice I didn't say ability, I said your willingness to stick with the practice. Because this practice is your portal into becoming the version of yourself that you need to become in order to achieve the desired outcome. Whether you want to have a girlfriend, or whether you want to lose your virginity, whether you want to build a business, set yourself and your family free, whatever it may be, NoFap will be that portal into that desired outcome. Why is that? Well, the reason why is because NoFap forces you to take your focus off of the instant gratification that PMO provides you with, and thus it makes you focus on making a permanent escape from the current life that you're living rather than a temporary escape on a day-to-day basis. So in other words, you focus on improving your life rather than making yourself feel better for a moment. So when you have that understanding, then you can move on to the next step of making NoFap work for you, which is you need to sell yourself on the outcome. You need to sell yourself on the outcome. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, sales, just a quick little sales lesson, is always predicated on selling the outcome, not the journey. You're not selling yourself on NoFap. You're selling yourself on what you believe NoFap will provide you with. And again, it's just a portal. It's an accelerant. It's an opportunity vehicle that allows you to become your best self much faster because you experience less resistance along the way. resistance in the form of instant gratification from PMO addiction. So you need to sell yourself on that outcome consistently every single day. Every day you need to sell yourself on the outcome of quitting PMO, of doing NoFap. You need to sell yourself on the outcome, but also when you sell yourself on the outcome, you start to believe that the outcome is possible. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is you do NoFap for a little bit, but then because you're not selling yourself on the outcome, you stop believing that the outcome is even possible. Or even worse, you believe that the outcome is possible because you've seen someone like me, for example, achieve the outcome that you want, but you don't believe the outcome is possible for you. And the irony is that whenever you feel that way, oftentimes that ends up being the seed that grows into a relapse. And the relapse is what makes you feel even less confident in your ability to achieve the dream outcome, because you start to lack the feeling of inner trust. You no longer trust yourself to accomplish your big goals because you can't even accomplish the little goal of not indulging in PMO. So what you need to do is you need to stop the cycle from wherever you are right now. And you need to focus your attention and energy on selling yourself on that outcome. Maybe it's watching videos of people who have achieved the outcome. Or maybe it's journaling about the outcome. Or even doing that visualization exercise that I had you do earlier on in this video. Because if you can feel the results of the outcome, then it naturally follows that the outcome is achievable. Because if you can achieve the feeling, you can achieve the materialization of that same feeling. So continue to sell yourself on the outcome, so much so that the belief becomes automatic. You have no choice but to believe that it's possible for you. And because you believe it's possible, NoFap is going to become so easy that you won't even need to watch NoFap videos anymore. Because NoFap will become automatic because it's a function of who you are as a person. You will have evolved into the version of you who naturally does NoFap. Therefore, there will be little to no resistance on your NoFap journey. And because of that, you will be able to take action every single day. The only reason why you're not taking action toward bringing that dream life into fruition is because you don't believe that it's possible. So you need to continuously sell yourself, not on the belief, but sell yourself on the feeling of having already achieved the outcome, and the belief will naturally follow. And along the way, as you build more rapport with yourself, you build more trust and evidence with yourself of your ability to accomplish your small goals from doing NoFap every day, you will naturally compound your belief in your ability to achieve the big goals. This is why for me, in my life, once I started NoFap, suddenly all of my other goals became much more feasible for me. They became much more achievable in my mind's eye because I knew that if I could overcome instant gratification and if I could overcome it every single day, because you experience urges every day as a young man, then I could most certainly overcome my desired milestone of hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I look back in retrospect and I think 1,000 subscribers is not a lot at all. But at the time, 1,000 felt insurmountable to me. But once I got on NoFap, I built up enough evidence in my mind that I was capable of accomplishing my goals, such that I was able to naturally accomplish the bigger goals. NoFap doesn't work if you don't sell yourself on an outcome. If you're not selling yourself on your dream outcome every day, you really have no reason to do NoFap. There's really no point in even doing it. Because even if you're just hopelessly addicted to pornography or PMO as a whole, the only reason why it behooves you to overcome that addiction is because that addiction is preventing you from achieving a specific outcome. If you don't have a specific outcome you want to achieve, then the gravity of that addiction will always reel you back in. I'm speaking from experience. The moment that I began to lack purpose and meaning in my life was the moment that I fell off of the wagon. And from there on in, I lost all of the confidence that I had built, and I had to start from ground zero. And I'm going to assume that that's where you are. You're in that process of rebuilding yourself from the ground up, square one. And if that's the case, then I invite you to read my free NoFap Relapse Recovery Guide ebook. It's a 15-minute read, meaning if you click the link in the description or the pinned comment of this video right now, in the next 15 minutes, you will be able to leave your lust in the dust and start taking the first steps toward bringing your dream life, that dream outcome, into fruition, so that you can build a life and live a life that you don't need an escape from, especially in the form of PMO. Click the link in the description, get that ebook for free before I come to my senses and start charging the money that that book is actually worth.